I always knew I was the overlooked sibling. Not the star of the family, not the one celebrated at gatherings, just present, nothing more. My sister Emily was the golden child, the flawless daughter, the devoted spouse, the nurturing mother of 2 adored kids, the one my parents always prioritized. And me? I was Michael, the dependable one. The one who kept things together, who never asked for much, the one who, somehow, always had spare cash when the family needed it. It started small. "Michael, can you cover the water bill this month?" my mom asked once, her voice soft. "We're a bit short." I was fresh into my first decent job, eager to help. Then Emily needed assistance too. "Sophia's dance classes are so pricey," she sighed over the phone. "I hate to ask, but you're doing okay, right?" And so it went, helping with utilities, covering car repairs, chipping in for my niece and nephew's school fees. "You're so fortunate, Michael," my mom would say, smiling. "You don't have all these burdens like Emily." Fortunate. That's what they called it. I told myself it was okay. Family helps family, right? Besides, I wasn't struggling. No spouse, no kids, no big expenses. But there was one thing I longed for: travel. I'd dreamed of it for years, saving up, browsing destinations, picturing myself wandering places I'd only seen in photos. Yet every time I got close, something came up. A family crisis, an unexpected bill, a subtle guilt trip. So when I finally booked my dream trip to Greece, paying for it entirely myself, I kept it secret. It was my one indulgence. Or so I thought. At the airport, waiting in the economy line, I felt a mix of anticipation and fatigue. Then I heard Emily's voice. "No, Sophia, put your bag down. The seats are huge. You don't need all that." I turned, and my heart sank. Emily, my niece and nephew, my parents, all in the first-class boarding line, laughing, carefree, in matching travel gear. First class. For a moment, I doubted my eyes. My parents, who claimed they couldn't afford a trip for me. Emily, who always said they were barely scraping by. I took a deep breath. Maybe they'd saved up. Maybe it was a fluke. Then I heard my mom chuckle. "I still feel bad we didn't bring Michael," she said, shaking her head. "Oh, please," Emily scoffed. "He wouldn't have belonged." Laughter. My stomach churned. I gritted my teeth, turning away as their group boarded. I said nothing. I just watched them disappear into first class, oblivious that I'd seen it all. In that moment, something shifted inside me. I didn't text them. I didn't call. For the first time, I let silence settle. Usually I was the one checking in, asking if they needed anything, ensuring my parents were okay. But this time, nothing. And it felt liberating. Greece was everything I'd imagined. Strolling through ancient ruins, sipping coffee at quaint tavernas, gazing at the Parthenon, knowing I'd made this happen for myself. I should have been overjoyed, and I was. But at night, on my hotel balcony, watching the city glow, I kept replaying that airport moment. He wouldn't have belonged. The words stung, burrowing deep. It wasn't just about the money. It was realizing my family never saw me as one of them. They'd mocked me. I wasn't their priority. I wasn't even a consideration. Back home, the calls began. First, my mom. "Hey, honey, how was your trip?" Her voice was overly bright, forced. "Great," I said, my tone flat. "Oh, good. Listen, your dad and I need a little help with groceries this month. You know how it is." I let the silence linger. Then I laughed, sharp and cold. "Groceries?" I repeated. "Like the ones you bought after your first-class flight?" Silence. Then a nervous laugh. "Michael, that was different. We had some travel points and Emily got a deal." "Don't," I cut her off. "Just don't. Honey, it's not what you think. We'd have taken you if we could." "But you could," I snapped. "You just didn't want to." More silence. I could sense her grasping for words. "We didn't think you'd care," she said. "You didn't think I'd care?" I echoed slowly. No apology, no remorse. Just a casual admission that I'd never crossed their minds. That was when I decided. No more covering bills, no more bailing them out, no more being the invisible son who existed to fix their problems. 2 days later, Emily called. I almost ignored it, but curiosity won. "What do you want, Emily?" I said, skipping pleasantries. "Wow, so now you're too good for your own family?" she hissed. I smirked. "First class must have really changed you?" "Oh my gosh, Michael, are you seriously mad about that? Grow up." "I'm growing up," I said. "That's why I'm done supporting you." A pause. Then her tone softened, manipulative as always. "Michael, come on. You know how tough things are for us. You don't have kids. You don't have real responsibilities. It's different for you." "Right," I said, "and yet I paid for Sophia's ballet lessons last month." "Well, yeah, because you always do," she said, like it was my role. "Not anymore," I replied. Another pause. Then she laughed, incredulous. You're actually serious. Wow, you're so selfish. Click. I hung up. For the first time, I felt unburdened. The silence didn't last. By morning, my phone was flooded. First, my mom. Michael, this isn't okay. We're family. Families support each other. Call me. Then my dad. Son, don't be dramatic. You know Emily and the kids need you. Be reasonable. Then Emily. Are you seriously ignoring Mom and Dad? You think you're better than us now? I didn't reply. Instead, I made coffee, sat on my couch, and savored the quiet. A quiet I hadn't known in years, free from their demands. It was exhilarating. But by noon, the guilt trips turned to panic. Another call from my mom. I let it go to voicemail. A text followed. Michael, please, we're in trouble. I rolled my eyes. Another crisis for me to solve. Then another text. It's about the house. That caught my attention. I sighed, debating, but some lingering part of me cared. So I called. What now? I asked as she picked up. She sighed dramatically. Michael, we didn't want to worry you, but we're behind on the mortgage. I pinched my nose. And you're telling me now? We didn't want to bother you, she insisted, but we need your help. You mean you need my money? I scoffed. Just this month, she hurried to say, to keep us afloat. Funny, I said, leaning back. You could afford first-class tickets, but not your mortgage. Silence. Then, it wasn't like that, Michael. It was exactly like that, I snapped. You didn't hesitate to spend on Emily's family, but for your own son? Nothing. That's not fair, she shot back. You don't know what it's like to raise kids, to have real responsibilities. You're right, I said coldly, because I was too busy handling yours. Silence. Then softer. Michael, we need you. And that was the truth. They needed me. Not because they loved me, but because without me, their fragile world collapsed. I know, I said, but you'll have to manage without me. I hung up, and this time I felt no guilt. The fallout was quiet at first. No texts, no calls, no sudden pleas. For the first time in years, I was free, but I knew it wouldn't last. On the third day, Emily showed up at my door. The knocking was insistent. Michael, open the door! I took my time. When I finally opened it, she stormed in, tossing her bag on my counter. What is wrong with you? She hissed. Excuse me? I raised an eyebrow. You know what I'm talking about, she snapped. Mom's a mess. Dad's panicking, and I'm stuck dealing with it because you're throwing a fit. You mean you're finally dealing with it? I said. For once, she rolled her eyes. Don't be so dramatic. You know they need help. You're right, I said. And for years, I gave it. Bills, your kids' expenses, emergencies, while you and Mom and Dad acted like I was invisible unless you needed cash. She crossed her arms. That's not true. When did Mom last call just to talk? I asked. Or Dad ask how I'm doing? The only time my phone rings is when you want something. And then I saw you all in first class, laughing about how I wouldn't belong. Her face paled. I had her. This isn't about the trip, I continued. It's about realizing I was never family. I was your backup plan, and I'm done. Emily's mouth opened, then closed. For once, she was speechless. Finally, she grabbed her bag. Fine, she said stiffly. Do what you want, but don't come running back when you regret this. I smiled. I won't. She slammed the door as she left, and I felt free. I braced for more. My parents weren't ones to let go easily. The next day, my dad texted, Michael, come for dinner Sunday, we need to talk. I laughed. We need to talk meant we need you to pay. I'd fallen for it before, not now. I'm busy, I replied. A minute later, he called. What? I answered. Michael, he said, trying to sound calm. This is childish. Am I? I said, because I'm the only one acting like an adult. A pause. Son, you're making this harder than it needs to be. We're family. Families don't abandon each other. Abandon? I repeated. Like you abandoned me at the airport? Silence. That's not fair, he said. We didn't mean it like that. Maybe not, I said. But you did not mean it either. Another pause. Then the guilt trip. Your mother's upset, Michael. She's been crying. So do I said. But normal means me being your ATM. I'm done. That's not what this is, he insisted. Then why call now? I cut in. Why not last week? Or the week before? Why only when you need money? Silence. Longer this time. Then a sigh. I don't know what you want from us. Nothing, I said. That's the point. I hung up. The desperation came next. Days passed. Then a text from Emily. I hope you're happy. Mom and Dad are in trouble because of you. They'll manage, I replied. No, they won't, she shot back. They're 2 months behind on the mortgage. The bank's sending notices. But I guess you don't care. It didn't matter when you were in first class. I wrote, "Oh my gosh, let it go." That was one time. One time I saw the truth, I replied. She didn't answer. The next morning, my mom called. I answered. "Michael," she sniffled. "We're in trouble." "So I've heard," I said. "The bank's threatening foreclosure." I waited. "I know things are tense," she went on, her voice trembling. "But we're your parents. Please, just this once." "Once," I repeated. The same phrase from the first time they asked for money. "No," I said. "Michael." "No," I repeated. "You made your choices. Now live with them." Silence. Then anger. "You're selfish," she snapped. "After all we've done for you." "Done for me?" I laughed. "Name one thing in the last 5 years that wasn't about money." "Nothing." "Good luck, Mom," I said, and hung up. Weeks later, I heard Emily had caved. She'd used her savings to cover our parents' mortgage, utilities, and debts, things she'd never done because I always had. It wasn't going well. A friend told me Emily and her husband were fighting over money. He hadn't known how much my parents leaned on me. Now that Emily was paying, their finances were crumbling. Their perfect life, fracturing, their easy smiles, gone. My parents, learning what life without their safety net felt like. And me? I felt lighter than ever. The silence stretched. I expected more pleas, but nothing came. My money was finally mine. I renovated my apartment, bought a fancy coffee maker, and took a trip to Thailand. Guilt-free. No emergencies. No shame for spending on myself. I was living for me, not as a wallet for people who didn't value me. Then, the collapse. Scrolling social media, I saw a post from Emily's friend. A photo of Emily and her husband at dinner, looking strained. The caption, "Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Hang in there, Emily." Her smile was forced. Her husband looked drained. I checked Emily's page. No more vacation photos or perfect family posts. Just silence. Then a message from her friend, Lisa. "Hey, Michael. I probably shouldn't say this, but things are rough for them." "Why tell me?" I replied. "Because I know how much you did for them, and now it's falling apart." She sent a screenshot from Emily's group chat. "Michael's such a jerk. He's watching us struggle like we deserve it. I had to empty my savings to keep Mom and Dad afloat, and they're still sinking." Mark's furious. He says it's their fault for depending on Michael. If he doesn't come back soon, I don't know what we'll do. I laughed. Come back? She still thought I needed them. Then, a call from an unknown number. I answered. "Michael?" My dad's voice. "What do you want?" I asked. "Son, we need to talk." "We don't." "Enough," he said, his tone sharp. "You've made your point, but we're your parents." "What's ridiculous?" I said. "Is you thinking I'm the one who needs to change?" Silence. "This isn't about the vacation," I said. "It's about years of me sacrificing for a family that didn't care." "That's not true," he said. "We appreciated you." "Then why wasn't I invited?" I asked. Silence. "Look," he said, "we can fix this, your mother and I." "Fix what?" I cut in. "The fact that I have boundaries? That you can't use me anymore?" Silence. Then, "Emily's struggling. She needs help." I laughed. "So now Emily needs me? She's drowning. Good." "Michael, be reasonable." "I am," I said. "For the first time, I'm reasonable." Silence. Then coldly, "So you're just walking away?" "You walked away first," I said, "at the airport." He hung up. That was the last I heard from him. Emily stopped messaging. My mom never called. I heard Emily and her husband sold their house, moving to a smaller one. My parents downsized too, forced to let go of their comfortable life. They'd spent years acting superior, like they didn't need me. Now they knew what life without me was. And me? I was free. Not just from their demands, but from them. I didn't owe them my success, my money, or my forgiveness. I blocked their numbers and never looked back. For the first time, I was living for myself, and it felt incredible.